guys, it's Parsifal. I also go by Will, and I am back with another story time. I guess this is a story time. It's also a little bit of a rant, but it's mostly a story time. I do have to put at the start that this does involve mentions of animal death in the story. Not major animal death. Nothing in the story involves animal death, but there is passing mentions of it because, as the title explains, or maybe not. I actually don't know what I'm going to title this, but we're going to be talking about mousetraps, and it's gonna talk a little bit about animal death. So if that squicks you out, mute the video, watch the speed paint, put on your own music, or whatever. I don't mind if you do that. Please go ahead, or exit out of this video and watch something else. I have plenty of other videos on my channel. A lot of them are soothing without any talky on it, or you can go to a different one of my topic videos. In terms of art that I'm drawing on this, this is old art. You can tell from the Photoshop logo. I think it's from 2019 of a design concept for my OC altar. This is before I adjusted him further from this, but I was getting one of his pre-generations because he regenerates down into a full body, and so I drew him here. It's got nothing related to do with the story. But yeah. That is your warning. I will give you a couple more seconds to exit out if you are squicked out by animal death or light mentions of it. But yeah. So, take care if you have to leave this video. And for those who have stayed, welcome! I am going to be talking about my experiences, a recent experience I had working at a mall, and our experience with mouse traps there. So as I said, I'm gonna start from the beginning. I work in a mall. I've worked mall retail for 13 years. I'm a mall rat. I understand what it means to work in a mall and the complications thereof. And it turns out I'm not the only mall rat living in a mall. In general, there's always going to be mice in a shopping mall because it is a large area with a lot of dark spaces, and mice are going to live there. Especially if you're in a foresty area like I am, because I'm in the upper Pacific Northwest. It's warm out here. Animals are going to get in. Animals are going to live there. We're lucky that it's not birds. But in my store, we have had mice running around, not super often. It's not any sort of infestation, but there's mice around, and customers have seen them, so we have to, tell corporate and talk to the mall. And customers don't like mice. They make the customers feel uncomfortable. The customers think that the mall or the store is dirty. Customers don't like mice. So if we see mice, we have to get rid of mice. Simple as that. And when you are working at a big store and it's not an infestation, you can't call an exterminator. So the solution then that the mall tells you about and that you have to deal with is to get some mouse traps. And that is what happened at our store. We've had mouse traps in our store for a while now, several months. We generally always have mice traps in the store, honestly, because, again, we work in a mall. The mice kind of are going to get in regardless. We are in a large shopping mall. It's a large space. And there's a couple of types of mice traps that exist in the world. There is the snap traps, which are the classic ones you see in like Tom and Jerry's. They have like a pad on top of a hard surface. You put some bait on it, and when the mouse steps on the pad, it snaps shut, kind of like with like a metal bar, kind of like again, Tom and Jerry, classic. You see these a lot. It's kind of like a bear trap. It's supposed to dispatch the mouse quickly and relatively painlessly. Not a big fan of that. Um, I don't like killing animals, especially when like here's the thing, right? Like the animals didn't ask to be in the mall. Sure, they're in the mall, but like they don't understand what a mall is. They don't understand that the people are there and are just trying to shop. Like they don't understand that the thing that they're eating isn't food and is someone and is like some sort of backstock product of socks. They don't understand these things. Um so like I don't I don't like traps that kill mice. I don't like traps that kill pests in general. Um, so I much prefer live traps. Live traps are traps that you put bait in. They've got a door, and so the mice goes in, and it's like a box. It's a sealed box with air holes. The mice goes in, but the door is a one-way door, so the mice goes in, can't come out. The important part of a live trap is that you have to check a live trap every day, um, because like if you don't, the mouse can't get out of the box, and there's only so much there's only so much food in there. It's just it's very obvious. Like you have to check the box every day because it's a live trap, and so you gotta make sure there's nothing in the trap. Otherwise, it's not going to be a live trap anymore. Usually, these traps are clear. That way, you don't have to like open it up and see. You can just see pretty instantly whether something is in the mousetrap. And I much prefer these types of traps. I think they're far more humane, and it lets you just take the box, take it outside, and let the mouse go free. The mouse doesn't know what's going on. The mouse didn't do anything wrong. It's just trying to live its life. Just let it go. Unfortunately, that is not the kind of trap that I have at my work. Or at least, that's not the kind of trap we're supposed to have at my work. My work is supposed to have glue traps, and these are my least favorite types of traps. I hate them, I hate them, I hate them so much! Glue traps are similar to live traps. They are a box, they have a door, it goes in one way, it does not come out. The difference is that these boxes are opaque. And so they are made of like plastic that like are matte plastic that you can't see through, or metal or something like that. The top comes off like a hinge, so you can open it up, but you can't see inside. And the reason you can't see inside is very important, because inside you're supposed to put a pad, and the pad is like glue. It's basically very, very sticky glue-covered tape. This is why it's called a glue trap. And when the mouse goes in to get the bait, it gets stuck. And that's it. It gets stuck. Oftentimes the mouse will panic because it is suddenly stuck in a trap and it cannot move, and it will injure itself trying to get out. And if it doesn't injure itself fatally trying to get out of this trap that you have stuck it on, it will wither. Like, it's stuck. And all it can do and all you can do is wait. Because you can't get it off the glue trap unless you have, like, specific solvent, but even that's not necessarily animal safe. Like, you can't get it off the glue trap. You can barely get yourself off a glue trap. There's been a Mythbusters episode about, like, glue traps, and, like, the kids in the Mythbusters Kids episode practiced glue traps and tried to get out of the glue trap, and they had to wear special suits so that they, like, could get out of the glue trap and not get injured, because if they got their skin caught in the glue trap, it would be dangerous and hurt. And mice don't have special suits. So I really, really hate glue traps, and that is the type of trap that we have at my store. And one day, I'm walking through the back room of the store, so there's no customers, it's because it's the employee area, and I'm walking with my manager, and he looks down and goes, "Oh, shoot, the mouse is still alive in there, and he's looking down at one of our glue traps. And I'm like, oh no. And I am very uncomfortable with this. And I look down, and our glue trap has holes on each side for the air holes, which I don't know why you put air holes in a glue trap. This just seems like a extended suffering, but whatever. So I look at the box, and I see a little snout and paws grabbing at the air holes and trying to stick its way out of the air holes. Like it's like trying to get its way out, but obviously can't. Like a little prisoner trying to reach out of the cages of the jail cell. And so I'm like, oh crap, yeah, there is a live mouse in there. And I see it disappear, and it goes over to the other side, and once again I see the nose and the hands sticking out of the air holes on the other side, and I'm like, oh manager, that mouse is moving around in there, which is significant, because if this were if this mouse were stuck in the glue, it wouldn't be able to move. That's the whole point of the glue trap. So I realize that it's not stuck. And I say to my manager, I'm like, you need to teach me how to open this trap. I need to open this trap right now. That mouse is in there. It did nothing wrong. It's clearly not in the glue trap, and I want to let it out outside before it gets stuck in the glue. Because if it isn't stuck in the glue, I want to get it out before it suffers. Because that's what's going to happen if it gets stuck in the glue. It's going to get stuck, and it will just suffer until it passes away. And so I was like, you need to let me open this glue trap. And he's like, fine, but if it's stuck on there, I'm not helping you. That's going to disturb me, and I don't want to have to put it out of its misery myself. And I'm like, that's fair. I will deal with it if that happens. Tell me how to open the trap. So he showed me how to open the lid of the trap. And I opened up the trap. And there was a surprise inside. It wasn't a bad surprise. Not at all. Firstly, someone forgot to put the glue pad into the glue trap. Thank goodness. Which meant that this was just a live trap now. We are lucky that we checked it, because again, you need to check live traps daily. But, you know, it was better now. It was fine. There was no risk of the mice in the trap getting stuck and suffering. So it was fine. The second thing that I learned when I opened the trap is that there was not one mouse moving around in there. Well, there was, but there was actually 2 mice moving around there. And one of them, as soon as I opened the trap, it looked at me, it looked over the edge of the trap, realized that the door was open, and it bolted. And honestly, good for that mouse. It didn't do anything to be in mouse jail. It was just trying to live its life. It has no concept of capitalism or what a shopping mall is. Scurry away, little mouse. You deserve to be free. The other mouse, absolutely panicked when it saw me, because it saw big, tall, scary mammal. It looks like it's gonna eat me. And so that one just, hid inside one of the doors that it couldn't get out of, like it was a tunnel, and just, refused to leave. So I took that one, and I took it outside, and I released it, and I made sure to have my hands covered. I had gloves, I washed my hands afterwards, all that. But I released the mouse back to where it's supposed to go, because, it didn't do anything wrong. And so, yeah, happy endings for those mice. I absolutely hate glue traps. Mice didn't do anything to get into mice jail. They are genuinely just, gotten rid of because humans consider them pests, but they were here before we were, so I don't know what their problem is. But in all seriousness, I just had that story to tell, and it made me really, really hate glue traps even more, because those poor mice. But I'm glad that both of them are okay and released and free, and if you have a need to do mouse traps at home, don't do glue traps. do something that's at least, like, instant if you have to. But just use live traps if you can. The mice didn't do anything to you. Come on. But yeah, that's the end of this story time. Do you have any terrifying stories about mice or rats or something or like releasing a bug outside because your partner was too scared of it? I don't want any stories about any animal death in my comments. Don't put that there, but like any fun stories of releasing an animal outside, because why the heck is it in here? Maybe you found a bat in your attic or something. I don't know. Tell me about it. Like, I want to know the cute, fun stories of the animals getting released and being happy in the wild. Other than that, thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys, or send you guys, to the outro. Bye-bye.
Well, that's the end of this video. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section, or contact me on any of my social media, which is linked in the description below. I also have my Patreon there if you guys want to throw a monthly donation at me. Thanks so much for your support. I'll see you next time. Bye!